Today, topic of the Shiur is Moshiach and his imminent arrival. More specifically, the negea to Moshiach. Moshiach is called in Maimari Chazal and all over various different titles. It's called most prominently Moshiach. Moshiach, Lashon Moshiach, comes from, generally we say that it's Lashon Mashiach, which is anointing. Rashi and Keirach, when I bring it says Lamashcha, Rashi touched L'Gdula, that's the Shem Agdula, it brings out the milas of Melech HaMashiach. Besides his milas, he's called Mashiach. And even if we're going to say, like usually we say, we have in Likud Sichos and Gimel, and then the second time it was printed, Amor, Mem, that Mashiach is going to have a Mashiach or isn't going to have a Mashiach, which isn't the discussion for now. If we're going to say that Mashiach has a Mashiach, it's an iyum mitzad atzmi, because if Mashiach inside your yachas to something else, if without a side thing, then you don't have Mashiach. Mashiach is either that you're starting a new iyum, which is your own thing, like Dovid HaMelech had a Mashiach, whichever na Mishcha. Or if there's a machlekes, so there's different people, different candidates who you're going to choose as a melech, and mitzad the milas of this particular candidate we choose him, then to laheitzim midei machlekes, and to show that this is the melech, then we do Mashiach. So also this shows on the melech's mila mitzad atzmi his own personal qualities. L'idach, there's a second title that Mashiach is called with, this is Ben Dovid. Ben Dovid, Mashiach is in of itself is not mentioned b'chlal. Ben Dovid is yachas to David. Al derech, what we find by Talmidim in Yeshiva, people that didn't get smicha, they're called Ben Azai. Kadema, the Rebbe brings over here, Ben Zakkai. Before Rabbi Yechon Ben Zakkai was teaching, when he was learning as a Talmud, he was called Ben Zakkai. Which shows that Mashiach's inyan isn't his own inyan, it's the inyan that he gets from his Yerusha from David HaMelech. We say Ba'avdi David and David Avdi. That the David Avdi is the Yachas, is the Dagish on David HaMelech, and Ba'avdi David is the milas of Mashiach. Inside his is that he's an Eved, and then it's the Avdi David Nasalem La'ilam, the Mila of Moshiach Mitzad Atzmi. In this also, there's a second Haichim Ben Dovid. And David is that David, the inyan of David is like the David Melech Seva Anichi Silas V'La'ish, and David who Cunin. The inyan of Bittul, al derech Ben Chedin isn't that he's the son of Chedin, it's that he's a Ben Chedin, he is the Metzias of Chedin. He's the Metzias of David, which is the inyan of David who Cunin and Vanechi Silas Ish, which also shows on his Bittul is not his own Metzias. The Gemara in Sanhedrin brings Ein Ben Dovid ba Ad she is bakish Dag Lechela V'lo Yimatzi. That Ben Dovid will not come until you try to find fish for a chela, and you won't be able to find it in the market. Now Mashiach, we said Mashiach is the Shem of Mailem, Ben Dovid is the Shem of Chusa. So what? So over here we're going to touch it in two ifanim. Either, if we say that Mashiach is going to come either B'derech Kulei Zakei or Kulei Chayev, that this Ein Ben Dovid Ba could be misparish in the two ifanim of either Kulei Chayev or Kulei Zakei. Start Matal Maila that Kulei Chayev. Kama Mekemis, the pasuk calls a person that does Aved is a chela. Now we know how that Ein Adam Ever Avela Elam Kenichlas Beruach Shtus. That you think that you're still connected to the Eibishter. If a person would realize that every Aveda that he does disconnects him from the Eibishter, then he would never do an Aveda. And what's his tikkun? His tikkun is al derech, like the Ramban writes, the reason for that you can only eat kosher is that when you eat something, you are what you eat, and you're makabel from the tchunas that the animal has. And because treifa animals have bad tchunas, so we don't want to makabel from these tchunas, so we don't eat non-kosher animals, only kosher animals. Zal derech says l'mal yusa, a dog. We see the inyan of bittul. And not wanting to be disconnected from its source, a fish, you take it out of the water and it and survive. So the tikkun is that you put into him the inyan of dag that you the Rebbe teaches that when you have in your brain something strongly, then it influences how you do things. If you fully understand a certain inyan, then you're going to do according to that understanding. So if you understand that by doing an Aveda, when we get to verstehen that through doing an Aveda you become disconnected, then you won't. Now the Maimar Chazal finishes v'lo yimatzeh, that such a thing isn't shaykh in this der. And then Ben Dovid ba. Then another way of Moshiach coming is der shekulei chayev. And lefi zeh, there's another taich in the Maimar Chazal. Ein Ben Dovid ba ad shivukash dag lechela. Achela is the inyan of chela's ava, that tzaddik wants to become nichlal nelikus, and chela is the gemachim and teskido, that he's chaser shar hanun of shar hanun, and he's chela's ava. He's vagish dag kanal. The dag is to be likolabim kedei, that he wants to be completely consumed in Gatlikite. But v'lo yimatzeh. So the fact that a dag ultimately, where there's two opinions in the Mishnah, there's kol shevayam eni mafsik, the shita of Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, but ein halach Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. Ultimately, a dag is a mitzias b'fnei atzmei, and therefore, however much someone's going to be a chela and however much he's going to try to get to likol kedei, it's not going to. There's a limit. And then kulei chayev, and then Ben Dovid ba. Kulei zakeh. I'm sorry. And Ben Dovid ba, which is the inyan of Mesiras Nefesh and Kabbalas El, meaning that through Mesiras Nefesh and through Kabbalas El, what you can do through your ava, when you get to chibur with Kabbalas El and Mesiras Nefesh, you get even higher, and that brings to Ben Dovid, like we explained, the inyan of bittul. Ad kan, what the Rebbe writes. We said it's a der shekulei chayev. If it's a der shekulei chayev, and we're talking about the mila of Moshiach, then why are we bringing lashon Ben Dovid? We mentioned earlier that Ben Dovid is the shem apchusa. So if it's mitzad the mila, then why is it not Moshiach? It should be Moshiach and not Ben Dovid. Yeshleimar ule yeshleimar, that the two taichin of the Maimar Chazal of kulei chayev and kulei zakeh al derech, the two taichin that the Rebbe brought earlier of Ben Dovid. The first one, that there's no yachas to the der itself. The der is kulei chayev. None of them. It's the inyan that the Eibishter eingestellt that der shekulei chayev and Ben Dovid ba. So mitzad the Eibishter, then Mashiach comes, but it's not an inyan mitzad the der itself. And that explains, based on the first lashon, it's stimmt the lashon of Ben Dovid. Garba passes it's stimmt. The second one, Mashiach, it's all his own milas mitzad his own inyan. Which, however much of a milah Mashiach will have, Mashiach is only limited to his own mitzvot. Mash'en kein Ben Dovid, when we say that Ben Dovid is the inyan of Kabbalas El Bittul, then it's, even though it's not mitzad the milah of Mashiach, mitzad his bittul, meaning it's the header of his own milas, it's not bringing out his own milas, but even so, it's much greater than even Mashiach in of itself. Because Mashiach is mitzad his own, Ben Dovid is mitzad what he's battle too, and therefore it's even greater than Shem Mashiach b'fnei atzmei. Chi adinenu v'reinu v'rabbeinu malach Mashiach v'elam v'ay.